everybody, this is Eric Worre, and welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. I am your host, Eric Worre, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, a.k.a. the Internet's most passionate MLM program. And no, I was just kidding with you. That's not how we open it up, but this is Network Marketing Pro, and I'm here at the Wine Library with Gary Vaynerchuck, superstar of the moment around the world. And I will tell you, for all of you that watch Network Marketing Pro every day, Gary is responsible for the creation of Network Marketing Pro. We sat down here in this office in February of this year, and I paid him $10,000 for a couple hours of time. And I will tell you this, it's some of the best money I ever spent, because a month later, March 11th, we launched Network Marketing Pro, and it started small, and it's grown to become something the biggest in my niche, but something very substantial.
Niche, by the way.
Niche.
I got yelled at so hard in the UK at a talk I gave the other day.
Well, the UK, they always they're like
they were mad.
Particular about the word. All right.
So
anyway, the part of the reason why I'm here, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different things, and but Gary's just come out with a new book called Crush It, and this book you can get for how much?
14 bones.
$14. You can buy this book, and I spent $10,000 just to get a lot of the information that you provided here for $14. A lot of it.
Yeah.
We talked for 2 hours, and we talked about finding the passion and figuring out a way to connect to the audience and bringing content and the different ideas, authenticity, the whole thing. And we're going to talk about some of those things. But the fact that you can get this for $14 is ridiculous. I don't think anything's going to replace consulting time, because somebody can,
because it's detailed.
Yeah, detailed, and it's very specific, and it, you know, like I say, it was really good money spent for me. So if any of you are looking for want to take something and really blow it up, and you can afford it, I would recommend, if you can get your time. I don't even, your time's getting a little tough right now.
It's gone.
Yeah. So, and I was just down at VaynerMedia yesterday. Saw the boys down there, and it's a fun little operation. Everybody's busy bees, you know, all on their computers. But I'm going to give you just a little shortcut, some of the background, then we'll talk about it. Gary has had lots of success. Most recently, in the last 2-3 years, you've just kind of blown up, right?
Yeah, there's been a lot more attention, a lot more notoriety, opportunity. It's been it's been a nice run. So
he started off. We'll get into his background a little bit more, but I will tell you, he started a small wine store here with his family wine store.
My dad started a store, and I still always say my dad accomplished a lot more than I ever will. I mean, he came to this country with no language and no money, and built part-owned 2 liquor stores, 78, 80, in 5 years. In 5 years, from coming to this country with no money, no cash, he owned 2 liquor stores. So, you know, that's a big deal to me.
Yeah.
So we had a store. It was really on the East End over here, on one level. This is a 3-story, much bigger store.
You should see this place. It's humongous. I've never seen a wine store this
big. You should take some footage.
I will. Yeah, I will. It's crazy.
So then I got involved in my high school years and took over operations when I was 22, and grew the business from, you know, a $3 to $4 million a year business to a $40, $50 million a year business in a 7-year period. Now,
I would tell you, growing a wine retail establishment to $50 million a year.
It's hard.
Well, not only is hard. How many? Are you in the top 3 or 4 in the country?
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 or 5 players like us.
Yeah.
In these, and it's hard. As I've learned, retail in comparison to some other opportunities that are out there is difficult.
Yeah. So anyway, Gary has he built up the wine business, did very, very well, and then he started this thing called Wine Library TV. And if you haven't watched it, you should go watch that program. If you're interested in wine, or if you're just interested in branding, go watch that program, because I haven't watched all the shows, but I've watched a lot of the shows. And then he created GaryVaynerchuck.com,
which was important.
Very important, talking about branding and business and ideas and trends and all these different things. And I watched every one of those shows.
Thank you.
And from there, he's kind of he's become a speaker, and he's got, how many people follow you on Twitter today?
850,000.
850,000 people follow you on Twitter, and you've got all this Facebook presence, you've got all this huge traffic. How many people watch your Wine Library TV program?
About 100,000 a day.
About 100,000 people a day to watch a 20 or 30 minute online video wine show.
Drinking wine right here.
Yeah. It's mind-boggling to me. And then you've become a speaker, and you've done a lot of keynotes, and now you're an author.
Yep.
This is the first of a 10-book deal that you just finished, right?
Yep.
And I've gone through this, and I want to talk about some of these different things because
Please.
it's really important for our audience. There's so many branding lessons inside of this, and there's so much community building and personal development and personal growth that's tied into this thing. I've grown so much since I launched my program on March 11th. But one of the big things that you talk about is authenticity. Now, being totally transparent, being totally authentic. There's two camps in this world. One says, fake it till you make it. You know, just get out there and spin the plates and don't let anybody see behind the curtain. Mm-hmm. And then there's other people who say, like yourself, total authenticity. What do you say to both of those crowds?
Fake it till you make it was awesome, and I believe in it in a lot of ways, pre-2007. We now live in a day of age of flip cams, Twittering, overheards, tweets, Facebook. It is so hard to hide. It is just so hard to hide. And you know, you're in a challenging space. There's a lot of people, you know my thoughts on this, you know. Yeah. MLM is a challenging space because there's a lot of negative
perceptions. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you know, this is the best thing that could happen to MLM because there's a lot of dirty players and they'll get weeded out. Yeah. But the ones who are trying to do it legit and for the right reasons, you know, there's some compelling arguments to how people think that corporate America is the same old game and that there's no different and this and that. I like the fact that you can completely put it out there. And whether it's, you know, plenty of affiliate marketers who are full of crap and some are legit. Plenty of coaches, tons full of crap, plenty legit. You know, businesses, full of crap, legit. Personal brands, full of crap, legit. Exposing the reality of the situation is on an all-time high in this new world. And, you know, if you have a business and you have an assistant and they know a lot about your business and you fire them or they leave, 10 years ago, you know, a newspaper wasn't going to write that article about somebody in the MLM space. You know what I mean? Right. It just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't big enough. Now, a couple tweets, a couple videos, could get picked up by a couple other people, your brand's dead. I love the fact that good is going to win and bad is going to lose. Right. And I think it's imperative for people to understand, fake it till you make it. You can play the part. And listen, go bravado, pound your chest and tell people you're going to make it happen. Just falsifying things is not going to work. I totally agree with you, 1,000%. Now, you've gone through a little bit of a shift in, I wouldn't say a shift in your authenticity, but maybe it is. If you go back and look at the very first Wine Library TV show, Gary is sitting here, hi, my name is Gary Vaynerchuck, and I want to welcome you. And now yelling. You. Yes, and he's you know, and about 100 shows in, and there was a shift. It was about 65. Okay. I actually remembered a moment. I was scared shitless to lose business in my retail business. And if I was having all the action figures that I love, you know, to put up here on my table, you know, if I was going to have these things sitting here and I was going to talk about the Jets and Macho Man Randy Savage and calling wines cat pee and horse manure, there was definitely an underlying fear for me that I was not going to be able to be considered serious to the people that were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year buying wine from me. Right. The end. Right. I mean, there's nothing else to say. So, what was the defining moment when you said, I can be me? When I just said, this isn't me. It just did, you know. And it's not going to work this way. And if you even watch, even after 2 or 3 or 4 episodes, I start, you know, it's just, it's truly like, you know, I just felt like there was no value in me not being me because I started really crystal clear seeing the opportunity in building personal brand equity. All right, cool. Well, let's talk about passion. I mean, this says cash in on your passion. How important is passion in my opinion, it's the business? Game. And as a matter of fact, people that are in a lot of businesses, this one for sure as well, I feel are chasing cash. And I truly believe that when you chase cash, you don't end up with it. And more importantly, even if you do, because you've had the DNA to be a good entrepreneur, salesman, you can make it happen, I don't feel that you end up happy. I just don't. There's no 90-year-old laying on their deathbed saying, I wish I made more cash. And more importantly, I ask everybody to think about legacy, you know, because your legacy is much more detailed and being tracked today than it ever was before. So now you don't have to be a famous actor or politician or personality. Almost everybody is virtually creating their legacy.
Right.
And I always say legacy is greater than currency. Mm-hmm. I really think about decisions that are going to impact me or make my grandkids look at me and say, are they proud? And they aren't. If you do your passion, whether that's, there's a lot of people in, selling products that are watching this.
Yep.
My thing is get into the content business. Now, you're going to say I am passionate about the product I sell, and I respect that. But I will debate that you may be more passionate about other products. You may be more passionate about fishing. You may be more passionate about rock climbing or yoga or gardening or the Cincinnati Reds. I truly, firmly believe that if you take that business savviness and salesmanship that you have and apply it to your passion and create content, whether video, the written word, audio, that you will build a bigger business because the sweat equity you put in, the 16 hours a day, it's not going to be about building a landing page and SEOing it and converting.
Yeah.
It's not building a real business.
Right.
Oprah and Anderson Cooper don't care about SEO.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I think if people realized how fun it is to talk about the things you love every day.
Well, and here's the, let me please, here's the difference. The difference is when you created Wine Library TV, you weren't doing it to sell more wine.
That's right.
You were doing it to build brand and talk about something that you loved and be able to just kind of rant about it and have fun with it and build community and build brand. So I think a lot of people in the network marketing space, they shortcut it and it becomes dirty marketing.
It's all sprint.
They go straight.
Sprint.
You know what I mean? They go straight for the jugular. Hi, I'd like to meet you. Now I want to sell you something. And everybody just goes, that is so gross. Go away, unfollow, unfriend, leave me alone.
It doesn't work.
Right. Well, it might work for a second for those people who are bombarding people with spam or whatever, but it doesn't give them any joy. It doesn't give them any lasting wealth.
It's prostitution instead of marriage.
Right.
It just is. I mean, it's very obvious that people that play in the speed game, lose.
So let's say that
tortoise and hare.
Let's say that there's somebody out there, they're involved in some network marketing company, but they love fishing. So what you're saying is, forget about the network marketing for a moment.
Keep doing it.
Put it there.
You've got to pay rent.
Right.
And I'm never going to tell anybody to quit.
Right.
Because when you start this fishing blog called JimTheFisherman.com, and you blog and you take your flip camera and you fish, it's going to take you a year and a half of not only 20 minutes of content or 30 minutes of content, but the 10 hours a day that I want you to spend in, you know how I outline Facebook and Twitter and Ustream and just becoming part of the community, searching, becoming involved, not selling, hey, watch my show, just saying, yeah, you're right, that tackle is amazing. And that's it. But your name links back. Slow burn, folks. Slow burn. But in 2 years, 3 years, when you get an email from the biggest fish lining company and they offer you $150,000 a year, and listen, I respect that. It may not be a third of what you make.
Yeah.
But what I know is if you go out fishing every day and you're making $150K and then it's $170 and next year it's $230, the fact that you can be, to me it's ultimately this. Are you serious? If you really just closed your eyes and said, what is the number one thing I love to do? Go to the ballpark, fish, cook, whatever, shop. Why can't there be a show about the professional shopper? Right? I'm convinced in this day and age where the platforms are free.
Yeah.
Free. See, 5 years ago, being clever and smart and having skills, they did not trump cash.
Right.
Now, really hard work, 12, 15 hours a day. And passion, the fact that it can equal cash is a big deal because there's no editor making a decision if you should write for their magazine.
I will tell you that I think there's a couple plays here. Play number one is, yes, if you become the known person in whatever subject matter, then there's going to be financial opportunities open up for you. Second, if you build community through that, there will be a natural spillover as you build community because you're going to know more people. They're going to want to know you. They're going to want to work with you. They're going to connect with your network marketing business, do business with you in some way. So the spillover is tremendous, I will tell you. Talk about hardware for a second. Well, go ahead.
Because you are a case study of everything I believe in. Give me one or two things. It's the first time I'm really getting to yap with you in a while.
Yeah.
Give me one or two things that caught you off guard or the first moment or you really felt it was true, it was real.
The first thing is the person who wins most is me. But doing the content every day.
Because you get emails,
right? Just thinking about it.
Okay. Because you're learning.
Just sharpening my brain,
No, I think
thinking
that's
about
valid.
it. I had to do. I did a show last night after the game in Times Square. You know, and I had to think about it for a little bit, and I had to prepare.
I became a better wine expert because of Wine Library TV.
Well, plus in your GaryVaynerchuck.com, you're thinking and you're looking at the world different because you're looking for
you're creating content.
Yeah, and you're looking for
differentiators,
tips, and things that
subtleties
stick out
that are powerful.
Things in newspapers that other people don't see.
How about the feedback?
Feedback's amazing. I mean, I don't have any haters.
Wow.
So it's a big, you know, hey,
That's
thank you, I
shocking
love it,
considering
thank you,
what
I
kind of
love
jerk
it.
you are. I mean, I'm like completely blown away by that.
So
I expected a lot more.
I really want some more haters, really bad.
Yeah, that's when you know you made it.
Because, yeah, you could create a little bit more, I don't know, interest.
Have people recognized you in the weirdest place yet?
Oh, yeah, all over the place.
Getting that?
Yeah.
Outside of your world. Like,
Yeah.
of course, when I went to wine bars early on, people recognized me. But now it's, like, amazing to, like, just, you know, be at the baby store and be like, you know, like,
right.
Yeah.
At first, people were looking at this kind of going, I don't know where he's going with this. What's he going to do with this? Is he going to try and recruit people,
right.
you know, for my organization? And then they realized, no, it's safe here. Okay, he's going to do that. But the biggest thing was content for me. The second thing is the consistency was there's some days I didn't feel like it. I really didn't feel like it, and did it anyway.
Follow through.
Yeah, followed through. Felt good about it.
Mm-hmm.
The community that's being built, kind of.
It's the game.
There's the lurkers that watch every day and don't post anything.
Yep.
Then there's the second tier and the third tier, and then this.
How many comments are you getting?
Probably 50, 60, 70 a day.
That's a lot for this early on.
Yeah, so you know, and there's some that are 100, 200. You
Amazing.
know.
You asking a question of the day?
Yep. Which I'm going to ask you at the end to
Okay.
do the question of the day.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, I'm modeling his stuff. You can model my stuff, do your own thing, whatever you're going to do. But talk about hustle, because do you find
I truly feel that this space attracts non-hustle people.
Well, I think
I do.
a lot of the world is ingrained to be part of the machine and work when they're told to and stop working when they're told to.
I think you're right about that.
Talk about the immigrant mentality, the hard work aspect of this.
You know, not being born in this country definitely is essential for my DNA and not being, you know,
He comes from Belarus.
I was born in Belarus, the former Soviet Union. Came here when I was 3. You know, I've always worked hard. It's just all I know. It's I like it. I like the process of being an entrepreneur. I do think that you're right. There's two groups, and they're the far majority. They either are part of the machine and work 9 to 5, and they listen, and that was school. And that's why they're all there, and that's why they did good at school and I did bad.
They do what they're told.
The other part, though, I do believe in the affiliate world and internet marketing world and MLM world, they're looking for quick cash. I really do think that they think they can be smart. They build a site, they do a landing page, they do a little bit of, maybe they buy ads on Google, it converts better. They're mathematicians in a lot of ways.
Sometimes.
I respect that. And then there's grinders who go, you know, person to person that want to sell the product, but then they become too salesy.
Yep.
And I think what people really need to learn is it's patience, it's a marathon, it's the soft sell. You need to become part of something. It's almost like your family will always convert best.
Well,
right?
Yeah, because they love you. I will tell you, you know, one of the things that I loved about reading in this book is he just says, look, you're going to have to work your face off. You're going to have to hustle. You're going to have to put the kids to bed and then work for another 3 or 4 hours. And if you don't like it, stop whining, stop crying, and, you know, either go home.
You know, if you want to play Wii, and you want to watch Lost for, you know, every episode,
don't blame anybody for your problems.
It's not even blame, it's recognize why.
Right.
You know,
right.
By the way, you might be winning. By the way, you might be winning. There's plenty of people making tons of cash, working their asses off, and then die of a heart attack at 47 and be like, what the fuck? So, you know, why did that happen?
Right.
So, I'm never going to tell anybody to do it my way.
Yeah.
But what you need to understand is there's a reason. Life is fair.
Right.
Life is fair. And that's something I think a lot of people don't understand.
So, expound more on life is fair.
I think, you know, you get what you put into in a lot of ways. And listen, life is fair. A 6-year-old's parents get hit by a car and they die, and that's unfair.
Talking
right?
about business mostly,
but
right?
I'm really, but even, you know, even the worst things that happen, plenty of bad things happen, and I'm in a family business. Everybody thinks it's great. Have you been in a family business? So, you know, it's you know, it's the lemonade thing. It's, you know, you just can't work 9 to 5 and drink beers and go on 16 vacations and go to the shore each weekend and wonder why other people are, you know, succeeding, because it's a business, it's a game, and I'm out practicing you.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell me about life balance for a moment. You say you have 3 simple rules. You work your face off. Some people could take that to mean mortgage your whole life at the expense of your business. Say goodbye to all your relationships. Say goodbye to your health. Just, do whatever you got to do. What are your 3 rules as far as your priorities?
Love your family. I mean, at the end of the day, it's very simple. Imagine yourself on the front of Time magazine, man, woman of the year. You've got it all. I bought the jets. That's what I want. Mm-hmm. And you get a phone call and your parent dies or this and that. I do that a lot with myself. It helps me very much pay attention to what I care about. So love your family. At the end of the day, last night I had a lot to do. I looked at Lizzie. I said, I'm going to go do this. I saw in her face, she's like, you're about to go on a 1-month book tour. How about giving me a couple more minutes? And I was like, closed the laptop and, work your face off. I mean, it's all I believe in.
So that's number 2.
Yeah, just work your face off. I just don't understand anything else. It's the only differentiator. Mm-hmm. It's the only differentiator. Yes, work smart, but you have to work smart too. I hate when people are like, oh, Gary, you work hard, I work smart. I'm like, Dick, I work smart too. And then I outwork you.
And I work hard. So
you can't work super hard at something dumb and succeed.
Right.
And then finally, it's got to be about the passion. My thing that I'm convinced about, for the people that are watching here, is that 99% of you are not doing the thing you love most. I'm convinced. And I'm saying, take all this other time you have, whatever you're doing, and start building another WordPress or Tumblr account around this passion. I think you can win. I think you can make,
whether it's sewing or fishing or
anything,
whatever.
The state of Montana.
Yeah.
Because you'll go and hit up all the big spots, write about it, and then the government of Montana, who, by the way, governments tend to have money, emailing you, we'd like you to be the online ambassador, we'll pay you $75,000 a year. Again, maybe not life-changing, but there will be plenty of people that listen, I'm going to build $1 billion business around my passion. Mm-hmm. Plenty of people are going to build $1 million businesses. Lots and lots of you are going to build a $100,000 business around your passion. Some are only going to be able to have talent to build a $7,000. But you know what? To that person, you still
if they're
have
having fun, who cares?
Right. It's like, shit, you could take your family on an awesome vacation,
right,
and you talked about the Cleveland Browns every day.
Exactly.
You were going to do it anyway. Take what you consume, split it in half, and produce, and you win. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that. That would be a Gary Vaynerchuck. No, but if you're watching 4 hours of television, create a television blog where you review the shows and just watch 2, and then, so I'm convinced. Understand the other thing. Gourmet Magazine closed yesterday. Mm-hmm. Where does that 2 to 10 to I don't know their numbers. Where do those millions of dollars in advertising money go? To you, Chef Sally. To you. Build a show, let people watch it, and then all those people that had to buy ads in Gourmet Magazine, they'll go to you.
Right. Talk about the price of entry in order to be able to create
something. Actually, you know what? I'm
like
so pumped right now. I need to get some. Hold on 1 second. Hold them down. I got a big time idea. Hold them down for 1 second.
He's got a big time idea.
Matt, I need somebody to go out and get a Gourmet Magazine. Desperately. I need somebody to go run this thing.
Keep it going.
Do something and buy a Gourmet Magazine.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, if you need to.
All right. You don't have to do it. Make it happen. Of course. Make it happen. All right. I don't even know where there would be one, but.
See, we're coming up with good stuff.
I mean, this is what I do. Like I have a big time idea. Anyway.
No, it's great.
That's really how you just really watched what I do.
I know.
I mean,
I've seen what you do. I watch what you're doing in your show all the time. And if you haven't done it, go back to GaryVaynerchuck.com. Look through the archives. It's worth doing. It'll give you a real good pulse of what's going on, not only media and branding, a lot of different things. Very, very good. I watch very little things because I'm very busy doing the show and doing all that stuff and building my business. But that's one that I watch all the time.
Thank you.
Price of entry. People say, well, I can't create something like this. What does it cost in order to be able to do it? I've got a, Flip Ultra HD
What's that,
doing
$200?
this. $200.
$200.
A little tripod.
Which we didn't even need. We could put it on the table.
Yeah, we could have put it on the table.
$200.
And
if you want to do video. Now, a lot of people are watching right now and say, okay, great, but you guys are handsome and charismatic and awesome. But what I want people to understand is understand your platform.
Right.
You can write.
Right.
TechCrunch and Huffington Post are making plenty of cash.
Yeah. Just, whatever you do it well. And you know how to do it good, start off doing it bad. I've heard it said once that you can't look good and get better at the same time. So you got to pick one, right? So I just when I left this office, I said, I'm starting. And I'm going to start. It ended up being my birthday was March 11th. So I'm going to launch Network Marketing Pro on March 11th, and I'm starting, and I don't care. And I told my little world, we're starting. I don't even know how to put together the blog or do anything. I don't know how I'm going to videotape this. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. But we're just going to start. And we just started, and we figured it out, and we figured out the formats, we figured out the time, and how long is good, and what do people like, and what kind of messages resonate, and all that stuff.
It just happens.
All right, so price of entry, don't worry about it. I want to talk about one thing.
Time. This is the price of entry.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
Yeah.
Because every minute you spend, you get.
So it's not just about broadcasting, it's about building community. I will talk about that in a moment.
Okay.
But
jumping ahead to that because that's what I'm so passionate about.
The New York Jets, okay? I want to talk about why having a big dream is so important. A big dream. Bigger than Wine Library, bigger than your daily show, bigger than Gary Vaynerchuck, bigger than VaynerMedia, bigger than the book.
Yeah.
Is so important to pull you through all the day-to-day things and to refocus your mind on something bigger all the time. Because you couldn't get to, on a path to own the Jets.
It's funny. Yes, you were just saying that. It's the first time I've ever even thought of this in my life. It almost becomes borderline like religion. You said to get you through. And I always think religion's awesome for people that really go through difficult times. It's there. In a lot of ways, for an entrepreneur, your religion should be your ambition, your biggest ambition. Because you're right. When things are tough, I'm like, well, I got to do this. If I want to own the Jets, it's couple billion bucks.
But if you didn't have that, if you just had Wine Library,
I don't even know.
This, you know what I'm saying? This probably wouldn't have happened.
Probably not, because this is a $1 million book deal. But to me,
it's just a stepping stone.
It's a little stepping. It's not even a good one, right?
There's one thing that a lot of people inside of network marketing don't understand that I've seen with the top earners, the $1 million earners and stuff. You can judge how much somebody's going to accomplish based upon how they view their previous accomplishments. If they think it's a huge deal that they got this book deal, then that will determine how far that they're going to go. If they say this is a stepping stone to get to the Jets, okay, fine. And you said something that's so big. What's it going to cost to buy the Jets?
Well, I think they just got valued at $1.2 billion.
Yeah, so $1 billion.
Considering that I think it's going to take me 2 decades to get there, $3 to $4 to $5 billion is not absurd to think.
Yeah, so you got to really think different. So as you're out building your business, if you're thinking, look, here's what I want to accomplish this. I want to give back to this. I want to open up this orphanage, or I want to help these different people, or I want to do these different things. Whatever the big goal is, then use your business and your passion to be able to pull you towards that goal. I think it's really, really important. And I think it's a real lesson here for a lot of people, not just network marketing people, but anybody in business. Have something that's so big and so exciting and so passionate that the days that it's hard, and I know you have hard days, and I've had hard days, and I didn't feel like it at all. And I said, no, there's bigger things on the horizon. I'm going to be able to. Now, I don't have something as big as the Jets. But I need to, because mine's been always monetary. You know what I mean? I want to make $3 million a year in commissions. That's been something that's been stuck in my head for a long time. But for what? That's the important answer that I have to come up with myself. You have yours. So you're kind of lucky in that way. You want to win Super Bowl. All right, so you talk about, it's really hard to kind of balance for the average person. I get it, but a lot of people I think might struggle with it. Between passion, hustle,
okay,
and patience.
Yeah.
How do you, just like, no, hurry, urgency, and all this stuff, but still be patient?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people, they go charge out there and they work their network marketing business for 2 weeks, and they don't get the results that they want. They go talk to the 6 people they think for sure are going to sign up, and they go, boo, and it doesn't work. And they go, oh, this thing doesn't work, and then they kind of go home.
Again, especially in this space, right? I mean, because...
Or in any space, right?
Everything we talk about could be applied to any industry. You got to be both. I always say be both. Be the tortoise and the hare. Right. You got to do both. But what you have to understand is without the patience part, you will give up.
Well, and sometimes people say, okay, I'm going to be patient, and then they...
Lie.
They become casual because they're patient.
Well,
you're patient, but you got urgency.
Don't misunderstand hunger. And complacency with patience. I'm the hungriest patient guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah. So you marry the urgency and the patience.
I am
so in other
starving,
words,
but I don't need to eat that yet. I'll eat this, and I'll eat this.
Right.
I want to eat that chocolate cake more than anybody on earth, but I'm going to have my Brussels sprouts.
yeah. And the chocolate cake's there, and I'm going to get to the chocolate cake.
But I got to get there.
Okay. Content and community.
Okay.
You say that you provide value with your content. Content builds your audience, and then you build community. Around the content.
Yep.
Okay. So there's a difference between audience and community. In your
Yes.
view.
Yes, there is.
Okay. So you have the people who are just casually viewing, and then you have the people who are passionate. What you call your Vaynerchucks, right? These people who are really into it. And I'm not somebody who comments a lot inside of your community, but I watch all the shows.
Well, I appreciate it.
And I tell everybody you should go watch his stuff. It's really, really good stuff. So, here's where I'm getting with this. If they go build value inside of this world, if my audience goes and builds value through whatever content, they're going to build community, and then they will figure out ways to either tie that community into their network marketing business or whatever.
If you think about building community with never trying to sell them, you are far more likely to have a business around that community.
And they'll find a way to get to you.
Absolutely.
That's what. Yeah.
If you're doing good things, if Wine Library was a bad retail store and didn't sell at good prices and didn't have a good selection, any residual business that I've ever accomplished from doing Wine Library TV for Wine Library would have not happened. I don't want them to.
Right.
Why?
Right.
So I feel like people need to think about that. Whatever your core business is, if your intentions are to build a community so it'll trickle to your business, make sure your business is good. If you're not providing a differentiator, a better service,
something that's good,
then you're going to lose.
Okay.
I mean, people are just too savvy now. They're one Google search away from knowing everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a different consumer. The consumer today went from being Urkel to becoming an ultimate fighting champion.
Yeah.
They're just much better.
Yeah. They know it all. They're a few clicks away.
Whether they know it all or not, they can have the answer within seconds.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about building brand for a minute.
It's the game.
You're an expert at this.
It's the game.
And I want to start with what I try and teach people on the show is to become known for something inside of their arena.
Okay.
Become known for something. To become one of the best presenters. Become one of the best recruiters. One of the best trainers. Become one of the best something. Become known, right? So you became known first for baseball cards.
I mean,
did you come known inside your little world?
It was a really little world in New Jersey. World, but right? Yes, no question.
All right, and then from there you got smart on learning wine, right?
Yep.
It's your dad.
Hey, Dad.
How are you? Say goodbye.
Bye. Take care.
Then you became known for kind of your wine knowledge, right?
Yes.
So you really, before you could drink wine.
Yes.
And how did you do that?
I read.
What made you say, okay, I'm gonna become an expert here?
I wanted to help the family business, and it's all I knew. I had to have the chops. See, again.
So you didn't want to fake it inside of the arena.
Salespeople are funny. MLM is about selling a product.
Yeah.
Something I've done my whole life.
Or an opportunity.
Okay? Or an opportunity. You've got to really know that product cold.
Yeah.
You got to really know. And so that's something I pride myself in. I always know what I'm talking about. Even the look, 160 pages, no fluff.
No, it's just
no fluff.
Straight at it.
Boom, boom, no bull crap. Because this is what I know. Now I'm not very smart. I only know 160 pages worth. But what I know is this. I know it because I'm not a consultant for consulting purposes.
Right.
I live it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I live it. I've built businesses. That's why I know what I'm talking about in business. When all these philosophers and writers and journalists and consultants get into writing business books, I'm always like, don't you need to didn't you need to build a business? So I think it's very fascinating. And what I know is that I needed to know the product. Once I decided I wanted to help my dad in the family business, I needed to know wine, and so I read.
Yeah.
And I read and I read and I read because that's what you do when you're 17 and can't drink.
And I will tell you this. Here's the connection when it comes to the network marketing business. Inside of my experience, I decided that if I became a student, I couldn't lose. I mean, if I learned everything there was to learn here, if I knew it cold, and I know it cold. I know this profession Cool. Nobody's going to surprise me on anything at all. If they ask me their opinion, I mean, what's your opinion on this? I have 20 years worth of experience, and not just book knowledge. I know it. You know, I lived it. So if you just decide to do that, nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop you from making all the money. Nobody can stop you from knowing all the answers when it comes to building an organization. Some of the top people I know are the best students as far as really learning it. Because not only did you read, but you expanded your palate. You tasted all kinds of funky, crazy stuff in order to be able to know what the wine tasted like.
It's, you know, how are you going to pick up gooseberry or cassis in a wine if you've never tasted it?
Right. So you're like eating dirt, though, and leather and tinfoil. I
mean, that's how I got on Conan and Ellen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. That's what I did.
So you've been on what? Fallon, Ellen, Conan, Mad Money, Donnie Deutsch,
Today Show, Nightline, some good stuff.
What's the craziest experience that you had?
The first one with Conan. You know, it's like your first love, right?
Was it like?
Yeah, I'd never been on television, and now I'm about to do the Conan O'Brien show. It wasn't like I did like local, you know, NYC. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm a primetime player. You know, I felt confident. I felt real confident going out there. It was great. We improv the whole thing. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good. All right, so then the wine library business, you became known as this business person that grew this thing from $4 million to $50 million. Then you became Wine Library TV, this
wacky guy. I took in a lot of ways.
It was kind of nothing for a long time, though.
Oh yeah, first of all, it was nothing for a long time. But more importantly, my brand changed from being this whiz kid, you know, AP articles about whiz kid takes family business through the roof, to this wacky wine guy. I went from you know, Steve Jobs to Jim Carrey, right? Like impressive. I mean, that was grossly overstated with Steve Jobs, but, you know, like amazingly entrepreneurial whiz kid to character. And a lot of people didn't get why I did that. I just don't care. I want to do what I'm passionate about, and I didn't love being classified as a clown. Probably led to me doing the whole Gary Vaynerchuck stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it led to me wanting more people to
legitimize it. Here's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot. This didn't happen by accident. I'm not some frat kid tasting wine. There was a lot of thought to building this brand.
Yeah.
Not that it was disingenuous. I am wacky and ridiculous and obnoxious and over the top and excited and all those things.
Then I think the big defining moment is when you did that, when you became a social media expert.
Yeah, I mean, when I started...
That changed the game, didn't it?
Sure. I started showing I mean, people were really... Listen,
Here's how I did on what I did on Wine.
Yeah, and I started talking about Twitter in 2007. I mean, I did a lot of things right. I was right. When you're right, you win.
Yeah.
It's back to the truth. If I was wrong, if I was like, Twitter's stupid and made a video in 2007 that Twitter was dumb, that'd be not good.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people thought. I went the other way. So I think it's just about being right and having the chops. Smart and hard.
Here's what I will tell you. Building a brand for you inside of network marketing is so important that you decide what you want your brand to be, that you live it, that you be it, that you tell the world, that you literally build an image inside of the business. If you take a look at all the top earners, they've built a brand inside of their public image of what people think of them. And you have the ability to do that too. From the very beginning, from the first day, you have the ability to do that. I'd recommend that you do that. Talk about telling stories. Because we're in a storytelling world. We have our product story and our opportunity story and our first 30 days story and all the stories. Yeah.
Tastes great, less filling, right?
Right.
This is a story, right? This is very much a story.
Yeah.
Walt Disney, Vince McMahon, the greatest hip-hop artists of all time, the greatest storytellers win. Your uncle at Thanksgiving, who owns the table, storyteller. Every brand, personal, consumer, has to tell a story. It is the game.
So it's not just about ingredients, and it's not just
Content is king, marketing is the queen, and she runs the household. Nothing works if your product's not right. We talked about that. But if you don't know how to tell your story about your great product, you'll never win.
Yeah.
The best books that have ever been written,
storytelling.
Nobody knows about.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have marketing.
Right.
Seinfeld, widely considered one of the great shows of all time, right? Canceled. So clearly content's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, plenty of athletes that were traded to other teams. You know, their brand, they had talent. Their brand wasn't right. Whatever story was told, he parties too much. Dan Marino. Why do the Jets have Dan Marino and didn't have him? Because he partied too much at Pitt. a story was told, and he didn't get drafted first. He got drafted 28th. Fascinating stuff when you start to really break down.
You talked about this last winter, that how hockey was screwing up, not telling their story.
And now they're a client of mine.
Are they?
The NHL's a client of
Funny.
Vaynermedia.
Good for you. Good for you. So here's the importance of telling a story. The top earners in our profession, they say this: our business is telling stories. We are storytellers and very well-paid storytellers. That's all we do. We tell stories about our product, our opportunity, other people's successes. We give examples. That's why testimonials are so important. I joined and here's what happened to me. And the other person goes, okay. Well, if they could do it, maybe I can too. Or if they could do it and they're a clown, I can make way more money than they're making. So the stories are critical. If you want to get people to attend events, tell a good story. If you want to get people to use your products, tell a good story. If you want to get people to stay in the game long enough, tell a good story. So important. I'm glad you really hit on it. Talk about the economy and what doors.
It's getting better, which sucks.
Well, but what doors in a good economy or bad economy?
Bad economy is the game,
does it open up in this world?
Bad economy. I mean, guys, this is the good time if you're an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Everything's less expensive. You can barter. You can get employees at better rates. There's just so many more opportunities. When cash is high and everybody's feeling good, people start thinking they're cool. I think there's been enormous doors. I mean, look what I did in the last year and a half. I created Vaynermedia. I relaunched Corked. I just launched Cinderella Wine. I just launched Gourmet Library. I'm running during this period because this is where the real cash is made. Mm-hmm. So every big business is built in a down economy. Not really, but so many. Microsoft, down economy. So was in the early 80s. So Carter years. So, I just think that people don't understand that when the playing field gets tougher, when the market's crap, then the best players win.
Mm-hmm. And let me give you a cyclical annual example of that in our business, Gary.
Okay.
July, August is tough time of year.
It's same in retail.
November, December.
Let me just
tough time of year
for us. It's different. July, August, toughest time of year for retail.
Yep.
Was always traditionally the time I spent the most money on advertising.
Right. That's the game. The game is in November, December, when everybody else is taking a break and saying, my prospects are distracted and everybody's shopping and doing all this stuff.
Land grab.
If you hustle then, you get market share. You get points that other people can't get back. You hustle in August when nobody else is hustling. Everybody's saying, well, you know what? Everybody's just not doing it. Everybody's on family vacation. Everybody this, everybody that, with their list of excuses.
People used to say that everybody's on vacation and I drive and sit in traffic for 3 hours. I'm like,
yeah, no, they're not.
Not in New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. You do the same thing, basically.
It's a lot of
go grab the market.
It's a lot of ways of why we built this business.
Yeah, I agree with that. You talk about whining, crying, and excuses. The people, and I will tell you, there's a lot of people that they've been their whole life. They've been told what to do, told where to go, told what to believe, told what to say, told what to think, and then they go and get into business for themselves, and they immediately turn to the world like a little baby who can't find their bottle and start whining and crying and giving their list of excuses.
Everybody cries. I mean, look at all the big stockbrokers on Wall Street. As soon as the market crashed, they wanted the government to give them a bottle.
And they did.
And they did, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you find that...
I just don't understand the value.
Yeah, there isn't a value.
Like, so many bad things happen day to day. I just don't know, unless it's the death of a family member or something of that kind of severity where somebody you love is hurt.
Yeah.
I just don't see the value.
Right.
I don't know.
All right, well, I talk about, one of my favorite things is defining moments. I talk to all these big achievers all over the world.
Yeah.
People who, they're going along in their life and they hit a major decision. Something happened, something triggered. It might be positive, it might be negative, but it changed their life forever.
30th birthday.
30th birthday. What happened?
Building this business, things are going great, got in the car, drove to work, not happy. First time in my life, not happy.
Why?
I didn't think I could buy the jets if I stayed the course.
Big dream.
That was it.
The big dream was not attainable with your current path.
Came in, talked to my developer saying, those videos you guys watch online? Show me a little more. Spent 7 minutes doing this. Sat down right here and said, I'm going to do this, but it was November 14th. Let me get through the holidays. January is our fiscal, so we had some work there. Still had a lot of responsibilities here. Hadn't delegated myself out. in the middle of the holiday season, started creating delegation, which is insanity. And by February 20th, felt like I could really focus on library TV. Sat down, taped the episode.
That was the beginning.
Haven't looked back since.
You got to go back and see episode number 1.
Link it up.
Yeah, I'll put a link underneath. You got to see it because I mean, there's what 300 views or something.
It's a whole
some
different
tiny
world.
little deal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Gary, first of all, I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I will tell you, this audience, you will do well getting this book. Go get it. It's available now. You can get it for $14. It's ridiculous. It was worth $10,000 for a few hours of his time to basically give the same roadmap that he gives here without the personalization. You can't undervalue that. But I will tell you, you can get on your way for $14. It's stupid not to get this. This really, really will help you build
Did you
a
like
brand. I loved it. I got it yesterday, read it last night and this morning. So,
Yep.
I mean, it's that quick of a read.
Tell me this, because you know a lot of my spiel. You watch a lot of my videos. What, if anything, you took away? Did anything hit you?
There's just some little things.
Nuances.
Yeah, little things, because like I
know
say,
my stuff hard.
I know it hard. I mean, I have audio recorded
Yep.
our interview, which I've listened to 20 times.
Yep.
So the things were why building a brand through social media is crucial to professional survival and advancement no matter what your field. Because I was thinking just my field. You know,
Yeah.
so no matter what your field, you got to build a brand today, or
If you're the garbage man.
or you're going to be extinct, man.
If you're the garbage man, do you
Yeah.
know that if you flip cammed your journeys,
Somebody's going to be interested.
you'll probably have a damn TV show.
Yeah.
Make $1 million and be a hero.
Right.
I mean, there's so much darn opportunity. I'm like, I get pumped because it's so big.
Right.
But I understand why people are like, really? Because 3 years ago, everything I wrote in that book, not real.
Yeah, no,
Not
it's
real.
changed. I had a television network in the 90s.
That's right, you know. You're right.
And I can do today for a couple $100 worth of cost what it cost me $500,000
That's right.
in order to be able to create. I did a weekly show
remember.
back then, 2 hours. I mean, it cost so much money, it was unbelievable. All right, question of the day. Give the question of the day for the audience.
If you really had to be honest, two-parter, are you really doing what you love more than anything in the world? And if the answer is no, with no bullcrap, what would you do?
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, here from Wine Library in Springfield, New Jersey,
The Dirty Jers.
my wish for you is that you decide to become a network marketing professional, that you decide to go pro. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a fact that we have a better way. Now let's go tell the world. Everybody take care, and thanks again, Gary.
Thank you,
I
man.
appreciate it
Thank you.
very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Awesome.
Great. And you got a new idea. I just want 2%.
Nice. Of the gourmet episode.
We have a live call in 3 minutes.
Thanks, bro.